Hello everyone, Mav Hunter from the YouTube channel Mav's Outdoor Adventures, here with episode 2 of Where to Fish Panguitch Lake, Utah. This episode 2 will be focused on shoreline access areas along the North Shore, accessed from the North Shore Road. The North Shore is primarily pretty rocky and there are some steep banks. So there are areas indicated on my Panguitch Lake map that indicate to fish these areas with caution. About 50% of this North Shore is a little too rocky and dangerous to have small children accompanying you on a fishing trip. But the other 50% of the North Shore features relatively smooth sand or gravel beaches leading to deep water, which are ideal for families with children to fish from. The drone overview will cover the boat launch area, the small craft fishing cove and the shoreline fishing areas, as well as the area near the dam, which is the outlet to Panguich Creek. This is a very popular area. It's fishable in all winds, although a wind directly to the north will hamper your efforts to cast from the shoreline. So if you enjoyed this video and the drone flyover, please click the thumbs up button and give it a like. And to be advised of any new videos I post to Mav's Outdoor Adventures, please click the red subscribe button. Thank you, everyone.
Here's a map inlay of Panguich Lake. This episode 2 is focused on where to fish the North Shore. You can see a number of the red markers. And those red markers are shore fishing areas that require a bit of a trail to get down the steep bank, but not recommended for families with children, these areas that are marked in the red markers. The purple markers, though, the purple markers are family-friendly, children-friendly fishing areas. This area is produced primarily well with a wind that moves to the northeast. Starting here, we're just west of the North Shore public boat launch. There's some fishing along this shore, as you can see, parking spots and dirt roads, but they stop up high on the bank, so it requires a trail down to the water's edge. And this area I would not recommend for families with young children for shoreline fishing. This video is shot midweek on a Wednesday, but you can see there's a good number of trucks and boat trailer rigs in the parking lot. One thing to mention, the two main launches, this north launch and also the south mid-lake launch, these are the only places that have restroom facilities, i.e. an outhouse. You can see a dock here at the boat launch. There is some fishing for shorebound anglers near the end of the dock, but the dock is mainly for boats launching to be tied up while people go park their trailers and their trucks. However, this rocky shoreline here is pretty accessible. It's not too steep, and it's very productive because it's deep water close to shore, which is a key for Panguitch Lake. Once you pass this tree right here on shore, it becomes very challenging and very steep, almost impossible area to bank fish these cliffs. It is possible to start bank fishing here, but you'd have to walk in from the upper inlet and pick your way carefully amongst the boulders and rocks along the shorelines. At the time of the video, this inlet on the north shore of the lake was dry, so you can see the water levels drop quite a bit. But one thing to really notice here is this is a very long cove, but 50% of it is fairly shallow. And you can see the dark creek channel there on the left-hand side. A lot of small craft and tube boats and rafts and prams will fish this area, casting toward those bluffs on the right where it's deep water, letting your lures and flies sink and slowly retrieving them back to their craft. Here's a good overview of a prime bank fishing area. It's a bit rocky, so you need to use caution with the youngsters. You can see some people there fishing at the end of the dock. But remember, primarily that dock is to tie up boats transitioning during the launching process. And here we're heading back up the west part of the North Shore to where we started filming with the drone. Again, notice the deep water close to the shoreline and all the shoreline structure you can see next to the shore. This northern shore, with a lot of those boulders in the water, provides excellent structure for fish like the predatory tiger trout, where they like to hang around for cover and ambush their prey, which are smaller fish predominantly. One thing to keep in mind for caution here too is this is sagebrush desert country. So in the warmer months of the year, if you're going to hike from the road or from these parking spots and dirt roads down to the lakeshore, you need to use some caution. Why? You got it. Rattlesnakes. And here I'm landing the drone just off to the side of the boat launch. Beautiful view. This segment starts again at the northern shore on the eastern part, and here we're flying over the dam to the outlet being Panguich Creek. You can fish the creek below the dam for a few miles. There's a little private land to contend with, but here and there is access to Panguich Creek. And the fishing is fairly good here, but the fish are generally smaller in the 7 to 12 inch range, but you'll also catch brown trout, brook trout, and cutthroat trout. Here we're soaring a little bit higher above the dam so the drone can give you a good view of the shoreline, the depth and the structure along the shoreline. This area from the dam out to the point is an excellent area for families with young children. It's flat and very easy access via a dirt road that comes in from the paved North Shore Road. So the North Shore Road off the highway is the main paved road, which then a number of dirt roads branch off of and head down toward the lake shore. Here's a point. I see many people fishing here. But one thing, if you're going to fish here, notice the rocks and the rocky structure. It can be a little bit snaggy, but also it requires a longer cast out from shore due to the extensive shallow waters here. So versus the South Shore, where a cast of 20 to 40 feet can get you in the trout cruising zone, here you're looking at a cast of more in the 50 to 80 foot range. And that's a long cast, especially for a youngster. But again, like the area near the boat launch, this North Shore has a lot of boulders, a lot of rocks in the water near shore in a depth of 2 to 5 feet. And these rocks and these cliffs, like this cliff bluff right here, are excellent places to fish and angle for the famous tiger trout, because the tiger trout are very predatory. And while they do feed on insects like the cutthroat trout, the brook trout, and the rainbow trout, the predator tiger trout prefers smaller fish. Here we're working our way around, and we're coming up on that long, shallow cove with the dried up inlet creek. So you can see how shallow it gets. It's a very muddy area. But notice the dark line. That's the old creek bed. I think early morning or late in the evening, this could be an excellent place to try a little fly fishing over the top of that creek bed, creek channel. I fly the drone back over the lake, and here's that rocky steep bluff as we're going to the access point near the dam. A beautiful morning this was, midweek. You'll find on weekends, Saturdays, Sundays, this area will have quite a few anglers. But it's probably one of the more family-friendly areas for young children to fish with their couple float tubers and their vehicles. So a lot of small craft, small rafts and prams and tubes will launch in this area. Yes, that's me waving hello. I showed this part of the video is to show that in this area, this North Shore area, it's good to have bug spray or a bug head net because the hatches of mayflies are tremendous. On this day, there were thousands and thousands of mayflies, and unfortunately, mixed in with those mayflies were mosquitoes. And the mosquitoes bite pretty hard here. But I was fortunate to have both bug spray and a head net.